Okay, so in our previous class, we have discussed about conditional statements, and in that, if statement is completed, then if else condition, and then we have given a small example on the if else condition, when to execute, use if else condition, like if a condition is met, then the true block statements. If the condition is not met, then we are going to execute the false block statements, that is else block statements. So yes, we had a demo on that, a small example. And yeah, this one also we did, which number is the biggest one, if else statement. So we just did this small program and write an Apex program to find the student result. Right, we have done this program as well to test if else condition. And here, if you see, we have multiple conditions within the single if statement. So, and we are going to add them together with the help of our logical operators, right? So we did that, and then we have this else if condition. So if block, and then in the else block also we want to test for some condition. Yes, we can use else if conditions. So so it will execute only one block of statement at a time. So if, else if, second number. So we are testing between two numbers, and first we are testing first number is equals to on second number. Second, we are testing if first number is greater than. Here also we are testing one more condition. That's why we are using else if, right? So and then we have gone to another example of if else for the seasons to be displayed based on the month number, given month number, right? Okay. And then we have gone one other example of discounts, how discount is happening if the purchase is based on the conditions. Okay, so we did that also, right? So any doubts as till now, please do let me know. I can clarify. And let's go ahead with the other topic. Yeah, please don't hesitate to interrupt me in between if you have any doubts. Okay, so I'm okay with that. Right. So the next one is the next one of the if statements is nested if condition. So by using this feature, we can include or embed one if condition inside the other. Nested means one inside the other. Okay. So under one if condition, there is one more if condition. Under that if condition, we have one more if condition. So we can go this way unto n number of if conditions. So that's called nested if condition. So here, if you see, so there is the syntax looks like this: if conditions, and then write the statements, and then again we are testing for some other if condition, write the statement, else statements, and in the else block again we are trying to write one more if condition. So we can do the looping this way. uh, n number of if conditions we can pass, but of course it's going to make our program more complex. But based on the requirement, we are good to go to 5 to 10 at least if conditions, nested if conditions, right? Okay, so to understand this, let's go ahead and take an example of assignment. Right, so write an Apex program to find out the student result and grade as below. So in the previous example, we just displayed the marks. Based on the marks, we were displaying him. Where is it? Yeah, this one. So this example, we were just displaying whether the student has passed or not by just checking whether all the 5 subjects have marks greater than or equals to 40 marks. So we are just displaying your passed or your failed, right? So now in our assignment, So now it is like we will have to display the grade if the student is passed, right? So pass, if the student is more than 40 marks, print the student result and total marks, calculate the average marks, find the grade. Fail, if the student got less than 40 marks, and print the result and total marks. Okay, so if the student is failed, we are not going to display the grade. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this particular example with a sample code. Okay, so yes. So go to the setup, developer console. Yeah, good that you are able to see it. Okay, open our anonymous window. Yeah, here we are. Let me close. Right, so let's go ahead and write down this particular code for calculating. So yeah, we are going to use the same code, but we are going to add more uh, fields in it. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy this one. Right, the conditions also we will have to check it. Okay, so let me okay, so let's go ahead and okay, so our subjects are again English, Hindi, maths, physics, and chemistry. Okay, and we are giving some values. So let's change the values. Okay, so right, so we have initialized the variables, and apart from this we need something called some other variables called first total marks, and we also need a variable of average marks. Okay, so and what else do we need? Grade,
Result.
result, yes. So total marks, and then so average marks is total marks by the subjects, right? um, I don't think we need a result. See, for the result itself we have something called total marks. So total marks gives addition of this all the subjects, and average marks gives total marks by the number of subjects. So we have these two variables, so I don't think we need a result. Okay, so yeah, for displaying the message, yes, we just display the message based on the requirement. Right, so we have initialized the variable. So here we have one other thing which we have to do. We have to do the total marks. So total marks is equals to marks of all these subjects. Yeah, result is the same. Okay, Total marks only, which we have used in previous example. But for we can write whatever name we want, either result or total marks, it's okay. So in order to make it more readable, I'm writing total marks only for now.
What about grade?
Grade. So what is the condition? Let me check. Yeah, we don't need any variable for grade. Okay, we are just checking the condition on the average marks, and the grade will be displayed based on the condition. So that will be just debug log statement, like your grade is so and so. So we don't need any variable. Okay. Right. To make it more good looking, I'm just putting some space here. So total marks is just the addition of all other subject marks. And so initially we just need to test the condition that if all the subjects are above 40 or not, right? So that's the same condition which we have did before. So here English greater than or equals to 40, and Hindi greater than or equals to 40, maths greater than or equals to 40, physics. So all are above 40. Okay. So there we are. So now I'm going to use the block of statements. Okay. Yeah. Congratulations, you have got passed. And what I need to display, I need to display uh, your total marks are something like that. And for the past student only, we are going to display grade also, right? Total marks are. Let's see. Okay. And we need to keep the total marks variable here for it to be displayed. And then what we need the grade. So for finding out the grade, we need average marks, right? So we are going to calculate the average marks. So average marks is equals to total marks divided by 5. Why 5? We have 5 subjects. Right? So this is our average marks. And yeah, based on this average marks for the if condition, like this guy is passed now. Okay. So passed means we are going to display total marks, and also we are going to display the grade also. So grade, how we are going to calculate based on the average marks. So average marks is equals to total marks divided by 5. We got the average marks. Now we have the condition. So this is if, and within if we are writing one more if condition. So this is called nested if. Okay. So now the condition is, where is our condition? Greater than or equals to 60, then grade A 50 to 60, grade B 40 to 50, grade C, right? So these are the conditions which we need to write. So if average marks is greater than or equals to 60, then what? So then it is our system.debug. So this guy is in grade A. Grade A, right? So if it's above 60, greater than or equals to 60. So it is grade A. And now I'm going to write one more condition. Else, in the else block, again, I'm writing one more condition, that is if the average marks is greater than or equals to 50, and that means 50 to 60 we have to do it. So and greater than or equals 50 and less than. So here you need to note it should be only less than, not less than or equals to 60. Okay, because 60 and above, it's already grade 1. Above 60 and above, it's already grade 1. Greater than 50, less than 60, it's grade B, right? Greater than 50 and less than 60, this is grade B. And now I'm going to write another else block, and that is going to be grade C, right? So else if, so here also we have condition, that's why we are writing else if only. So marks should be greater than or equals to 40, and it should be less than 50, right? Greater 40 to 50, and equals to 50 we added here, so it should not be here. Okay, so less than 50, right? So now the system.debug, right? See, so this part is completed. So we are testing the conditions for displaying our grade. So that part is completed in our if block. So within if block, we have written another if block. So that is called the nested if condition. And we are making use of if else if statements also here. So if else this one, else if this one. So we are making use of all the combinations of if conditional statements. Okay. So here this particular if block is completed. And yeah, so if the scenario is like any one of the subject, this person has got less than 40 marks, then the else block I'm going to execute. So else block, right? So I'm just going to display a message. You have got failed, better luck next time. And one more statement, your total marks are. I want to display the total marks also, but there is no grade. Okay. Right? Total marks are plus total marks. Okay. Are we good? Right. So we are defining the integer variables, all the 5 subjects, and total marks and average marks. Okay. And we have initialized the variables. Total marks, how we are going to calculate sum of all the subject marks, that is 5 subject marks. So here, English, Hindi, maths, physics, chemistry, and semicolon here. So total marks we have calculated, and our condition for pass, it should be all the subjects greater than or equals to 40. So this is a pass condition. So let's go. So if it is pass, then print the result of total marks as well as the grade. But if it is fail, print the result and the total marks. Okay, grade we are not giving in the fail. So that's where we are just testing our um, average marks condition only in our pass case. Okay, this is our pass block. This is our fail block. So congratulations, you passed total marks. And then the total marks for displaying the grade, we are giving the conditions. So if it is above or equals to greater than 60, grade A, greater than 50 and less than 60, grade B, and greater than 40, less than 50, it's grade C. So here, if you need to be very careful. So it's equals to or greater than 60, means 60 and above. Okay. So it should be less than 60 here. It should not be equals to again. You should remember that point. Okay. So here, if you see greater than or equals to 50, so equals to 50 also came here. So it should be less than 50 only here. Okay. So that point we have to remember. That means 50 to 59, here 40 to 49. So it means that, right? So here 60 or above. That's the condition. So if and within if another if, right? So this is nested and if else we are using, and then else if also we are using. So all 3 different types of if conditional statements we are using. Okay. So I passed all the subject marks as passed. So now the result should be congratulations, you are passed. Total marks will be displayed and grade will be displayed. So, okay. So I don't know the grade. I guess it should be good one, right? It should be grade A only, right? Okay, let's go ahead and execute. Open, click on open log, execute. Okay, debug only. See, congratulations, you got passed. Total marks are 406 and you have grade A. All right. So that means the average is greater than 60. So that's why he got grade A. So let's go ahead and take this guy is 4 in Hindi. 38 border. So let's go ahead and execute. So now this guy has got failed. Let's see. Debug only. You have got failed. Better luck next time. Total marks are 363. So out of 500, it's 363. Okay. So Control E. So let's go ahead and see some grade C's or something. Okay. 41, 51, 58. So this should be grade C if I'm not wrong. So let's go ahead and execute. Congratulations, you have got passed. Total marks are 260, grade B. Okay, so it's above 60. It's been like 50 to 60. It's not less than 50. Okay, right? So that's where grade B it is displayed. Okay. Right. So this is how we can make use of our if nested if conditions, right? So this is our sample code. Let's copy paste this particular code. Okay, so I'm keeping it in the notes. just for you to make use of it later. Okay, saved. Yeah. So let's go to the next one, that is switch statement. Okay, so switch statement. So while Salesforce has introduced the Apex around 2000, so Salesforce has introduced only conditional statements, that is if and ternary operator, only two of them. It did not introduce switch statement because switch statement is having performance issues. Okay, so in around like winter 2018 release, Salesforce has introduced this switch statement with a lot of enhancement on it. It's not the basic switch statement from other programming languages, it's a different one. So the syntax for switch statement in C and Java may be same, but the syntax for switch statements from Java and Apex, it is different. Okay, so we have our own switch statement syntax for Apex. So let's go ahead and see, right? Okay, so that means in from winter 18 release onwards, we have this switch statement. Before we did not have. That means for 18 years it was not there. After in 18 only they introduced it with making a lot of enhancement on it to overcome the performance issues. Okay, right. So yeah, switch statement is used to compare a variable expression value with various branches. In any of the branch values mismatching the variable, then it will execute the block of statements. If any of the branch value is not matching with the variable, then it will execute the else block or statement or by default. Okay. So switch statement, as we know, it is going to execute only one block of statement in the given n number of blocks of statements. Okay, if nothing is matching, it is going to execute the default block of statements. Okay, so Salesforce introduced switch statement as part of winter 18 release, right? So this is our syntax. So the syntax looks like switch on the variable or name or the expression also we can give when the value one, when the value two execute, when value one write print these statements or execute these statements, when value two execute these statements. So if you remember case one, case two, case three, something like that in our C language, and if you remember, there is nothing like a break statement here. So we are not going to use break as we use in C and Java. Okay, so there is no break statement, and there is nothing like case. So we have a word when. So we are going to execute the when. So again, one other important point is Salesforce Apex has two different formats of switch statements. Yes, both of them we are going to discuss. Okay. Right. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and write down this particular program using our switch statement, right? Okay, write an Apex program to print the weekday name based on the weekday number passed. Okay, if it is 1 Monday, 2 Tuesday, 3 Wednesday, 4 Thursday, 5 Friday, 6 Saturday, 7 Sunday, and less than 1 or greater than 7 invalid weekday number. So this is what we need to display. So let's go ahead and write a small Apex code. Okay, right. So in this case, what all variables do we need? Just weekday number, right? Integer weekday number. And do we need any other things? Just the number we are entering, and based on that we are using the switch statement. So yeah, only one variable. And yeah, if you want to initialize, you can initialize. I'm going to give it as 5, or let's say 4. Today is We'll give 2. Today is Tuesday. Okay, then write our switch statement. Okay, SWI switch on. So here it can be a condition or it can be a variable. So I'm going to use the weekday number and I'm opening my switch statement. Okay, when 1, it's going to be system.debug. So if it is 1, what does that mean? It is Monday, right? Okay, so this is simple statement, right? So similarly, we can write all the 7 of them. Okay, 1 Sunday, 2, sorry, 1 Monday, 2 Tuesday, sorry. So if you remember, there is no break statement and there is nothing like case where we are using when keyword. Okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then the default one would be, okay, let's write the days first. Wednesday, 4 is Thursday, 5 is Friday, 6 is Saturday, and 7 is Sunday. Okay, and then we will have to write our default block, that is when else. So this is the so system.debug and please enter a valid month number or something like that, or invalid, sorry, weekday number. Okay, invalid weekday number. You can write down, please enter in between 1 to 7. Right, so we can display message like this. And yeah, so this is the default block. Okay, so if none of these conditions are true, and then it is going to check this. Okay, right, so we just declared one variable weekday number. We have initialized the value as 2, so it should be display it as this is Tuesday. Okay, when 1 Monday, 2 Tuesday. So these are all the cases. That's where we write when statement, and then we write the default block when else, when not any one of this. So if it is 1 to 7, then it's going to take these cases, when cases, else it's going to go here and execute this. Okay, so that's our switch statement. So let's go ahead and execute, open log, execute. So it should display Tuesday, right? We give number 2. Debug only. This is Tuesday, right? So let's go ahead and keep it as Friday. Yeah, because I like Friday. Right, this is Friday. So let's go ahead and execute, put some number 12. Invalid week number, please enter number between 1 to 7. Okay, I entered 12, right? Okay. So if I see, go ahead and make it as 0. It's the same, invalid week number, please enter between 1 to 7. Right? So yes. Okay, so hope you understood this. Any doubts here? Do let me know, but it should be all good. So this is how we can write our switch statement, making use of, right? Sorry, yeah, here we have to paste, right? So making use of our day number, so switch statement we made. Okay, so there is one other type of switch statement. Okay, so right, so let's go ahead and write some code making use of our record IDs. Okay, so this is how we write switch statement. So switch statement is little different in syntax when compared to other programming languages. Okay, we don't have a keyword called case, or we don't have break, right? Okay, so after, in the next example, I will show you the other syntax of switch statement as well. Okay, right. So the next one is write an Apex program to print the object name based on the record ID. So record ID we are getting. Okay. So we need to get a record ID and then understand this display the object name. Okay. All right. So let's go to our Salesforce org. So here we are. Let's go to an account. We'll go to our, which one? Hiring manager record. And if you know, this is the record ID. Okay. So what we are going to do in our case is we are going to write a program which is to which we are passing a record ID, and then it is going to display which type of record it is. Okay. So making use of the switch statement. Let's go ahead and write down. Right. So here we just need the variables like record ID. So what type of variable, what type of data type is the variable record ID? Can anyone answer? So this is the variable I'm going to declare, and yeah, what type of variable is the record ID?
It's alphanumeric, right? So
yeah, data type.
it can be string, right? Because it's alphanumeric.
Right, string record ID. And yeah, in our org, what did I'm taking example of hiring manager, one of the hiring manager record, account record. So right, this is my record ID. I'm going to pass this to my program. So I'm just initializing my record ID. Sorry for that. Yep. So record ID, we have stored it, and here, based on the record ID, how do I know whether it's an account record, it's a case record, it's a lead record? How do I know that? We discussed this as part of our
I
configuration.
guess the first 5 digits or
First
5 digits, I guess.
5.
Starting 3 digits.
Right. Yeah. First three. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. First three digits in the record ID is the object ID. Okay. So 001 means it's an account record. Okay. So similarly, we have 00Q lead record, 005 user record. So something like that. Okay. So we have record IDs. So based on the record ID itself, we can find out which type of record is this. Okay. Right. So let's go ahead and write down our uh, so in this record ID, now what we need to do is we need to take only this one, this part of it. How do we do that? So as part of string, the functions we have discussed about string functions, right? String data type, we have discussed about string functions also, right? So we have a function called left, we have a function called right, and floor, right? So many things on the string data type, right? So here we are going to make use of left, okay, left one on our record ID. So let's go ahead and first display our record ID. So just display system dot debug, and sorry, we are going to display our object ID. Object ID is so what is the object ID? From the record ID, I need to pull it out. How I'm going to do is flash. So from the record ID, I need the object ID. Record ID is a string. So I'm using a function left. And how many characters I need from the left? It's just 3 characters. Okay. So this is going to store the value called 001. Okay. This is our object ID. Right. So here we can also do one more thing, like I wanted to store the object ID in one of the variable, that I can do it, right? Control X, let's say, can be string obj id is equals to, I'm just capturing this 3 digits on the object ID. Okay. So that's my variable. So I can write down this way, right? So now what I'm going to do, I just display the object ID, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this switch statement for different object IDs. Okay. Switch on, right. On what? On the variable. So we are writing on the variable, object ID variable, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and write down our switch block. So when, so if the object ID is 001, then what should I do? So I know that 001 is for account. This is account record. Right. So this way we are going to write our uh, different case statements, that when cases in our uh, switch block. Okay. So if it's 001, it's account. If it's 00Q, it's lead. Yeah, this you will understand this based on your usage. So 005 user, so something like that. So you will be remembering this when you have little hands-on on the Salesforce org. By looking at the object ID, you will understand. So 00T is task and 003 is contact. And next 005 user. Next is let's say 500, that is case. And 501 solution. Of course, we are not going to deal with solution anyways. And when else, I'm writing the condition as invalid record ID. So I'm just defining only few record types here, but if you want, you can define multiple record types. Opportunity, campaign, so many objects are there, right? So you can define all of them based on the record ID. And if it is none of these, then I'm just mentioning it as invalid record ID. Okay, so I'm just passing case, contact, lead, solution, account. That's it. But if we pass opportunity object, it should show, but that case we haven't written. We can write. Okay. Right. So now I just passed the account record ID. So let's go ahead and execute it. Semicolon. Is that correct? Yeah, maybe. Object ID. Yeah. See, if we miss semicolon also, it's going to throw error. Account. Object ID is 001. This is account record. Okay. So this is how the output looks like. But if you go ahead and pass some, let's say 00Q, it's not bothered about this. Our condition tests only first three characters. So I'm just changing only the Q part. So let's go ahead and execute it. Should be lead. Okay. Object ID is 00Q and this is lead record. Yeah. Okay. So this is how we can write our simple code to display our record IDs. Based on the record ID, we are displaying the object ID making use of switch statement. Yep.
Yeah, can you check contact ID in the system debug statement?
Yes, we can.
You wrote when it's 00T.
Correct. So I have to give it here T00T.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay. So actually our switch statement is only checking first three characters. Okay. That's where I'm not changing the complete record ID. I'm just changing the first three characters and then testing it. Okay. Right. So yeah, object ID is 00T and this is a contact record. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and write the next code. Yeah, this one I'm going to show you another type of case statements. Okay, but I guess we need more time writing this particular syntax. Yeah, so we will go ahead and yeah, we have another type of syntax. So that syntax along with that, and I will explain the example also. Switch statement, another type of syntax. So yeah, we are going to test multiple statements in one single go. That's the difference. Okay, and remaining is the same. So here we are just testing only one single condition, but we can go ahead and do multiple conditions also. Okay. So yeah, that one we will be discussing. Yeah, we are running short. So we'll be discussing in the tomorrow's class, and then we'll go ahead for iterative statements. Um, okay, for looping in other programming language, they are called looping statements. For while, different types of for loops and while loops. Okay, so that we are going to discuss more. And tomorrow, first thing we will be doing another kind of switch statement with another syntax, and then we'll move to iterative statements, different kinds of while loops and for loops, which we have in Apex. Okay, right. So today we have discussed the remaining iterative statements of if conditional statement, that is else if and nested if. Okay, nested if we have discussed, and then we have discussed the switch statement along with a couple of examples. So here the syntax for switch statement is different in Apex programming. So make a note of it. We don't have something called case. We don't have something called break statement. We don't have it in our switch syntax. Okay, right. So the remaining, the second syntax for switch statement we'll discuss tomorrow. And yeah, I will ping you in the group chat for the assignments. Please take time to write down this code. I know this will be a simple code, but yes, we will have to start simple, and then we will be moving on to complex programs. Okay, so that's where like more understanding comes in. So, yeah, you might be thinking these are all very simple, but yes, these are all also important for us to understand the things in detail initially. Okay, so starting with simple, we will move on to more complex programs also. Okay, yeah, that is all for today's class, and have a good day. Thank you.